Hi everyone, and welcome to Queen's Tech Meetup 11. Thank you all for coming tonight. I'm Jukay and I'm the founder of Coalition Queens. We're a nonprofit working to foster the tech ecosystem here in Queens, the world's most diverse community. We see tech as a vehicle for economic opportunity and mobility, and that's why we're working to build a tech community here. I want to take a moment to thank and recognize our sponsors. First, Plaxel. They're a family-owned manufacturing company. Thank you to them for donating this space and sponsoring our organization, as well as Covington and Burling. They're a leading law firm here in New York and across the world, working with many tech startups and helping them grow, as well as Akshay Shimmerlik, who's a CPA, working with a lot of tech startups. They work with us as well. And he can provide all of your accounting and services and financial needs. I want to introduce Aaron Cohen, who's the MC and the organizer of Queen's Tech Meetup. Please give him a warm welcome and applause.
Thank you very much, Jukay. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming out. If you made it all the way from Manhattan, we appreciate you trekking through the winter weather. I think we're up to Polar Vortex 3 now. But you all made it, so that's all that counts. Like I said, thank you very much, Jukay. This is my third Queen's Tech Meetup where I'm emceeing the demo portion, and I couldn't be happier or more honored for that opportunity. So thank you again, Jukay, Dave, everyone else at C4Q for that. Before we get into the demo portion, I have a couple questions for the audience real quick. We have over 1,700 members in our meetup group now. Just 3 months ago it was 1,500. So that means there's 200 new people who are interested in the Queen's Tech ecosystem. So just a show of hands, who is here for the first time? Awesome, okay, that's what we like to see. Big new turnout. Give yourself all a round of applause for coming out and showing the city what the outer boroughs can do. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Manhattan's great, but you know, Long Island City's where it's at. All right, let's see, what do we have? Oh, of course, before we get going, I have a short message from one of our demoers later in the evening. We sent an email about this earlier today. Confide has asked all iPhone users to download the app now. You'll be able to interact with them during their demo and very possibly win some exciting prizes for doing so. So if you have not yet done so, iPhone users, search for Confide, C-O-N-F-I-D-E in the App Store, and get going with that, because when we come to the last demo of the evening, you are definitely going to want that opportunity to compete for those fabulous prizes. So I think we're about ready for our first demo, which is going to be StyleScan. Where's Karl? Karl, right there. This is Karl Pierre. He's the CEO and co-founder of StyleScan. And he's also a Queens native, born in Floral Park, I believe. So that was right, Floral Park, right? Oh, you're in Floral Park now, excuse me, okay. Well, he's in Floral Park right now, and one of the many great entrepreneurs from Queens that we are happy to support here. StyleScan is a photo sharing application. It allows users to share, discover, and shop the latest fashion and beauty trends. Karl's also the co-founder of a co-working space in Manhattan called Solus Spaces. He tells me they have 2 empty desks right now, so if you're looking for a place to work in the city, you might want to hit him up as well. But he probably really wants to talk more about StyleScan. So, without further ado, here is Karl.
Hello. Thank you for having me. As he introduced me, I am Karl Pierre, the co-founder and CEO of StyleScan, an exciting fashion application that's currently available on the Apple App Store. Now, quick question. Who here has ever been shopping or even staring at their own wardrobe and asked themselves, how am I going to wear this? Right? This is a question that we've all asked ourselves, and it's probably a question that we've asked ourselves today. And it's that question that StyleScan helps you answer. StyleScan is a photo sharing application that allows users to share, discover, and shop the latest fashion trends. One of the features that we built into StyleScan is a barcode scanner that allows users to scan barcodes to get instant styling recommendations as they shop. Now, the idea for StyleScan was actually the brainchild of our partner, Sutera over there. One day she was shopping in Bloomingdale's and came across a shirt that she describes to be a strappy kind of thing. And she first looked for a mannequin to see if it was styled on a mannequin. wasn't styled on a mannequin. She looked for a sales rep, no sales rep in sight, and she thought, why don't designers actually add a photo to the products to give you an idea of how it should be worn? And that's when she came up with the idea, maybe we should have a barcode scanner that lets shoppers do that. So I'll just jump right into the demo, just walk you through how this thing works. So, okay, this is the landing page for StyleScan. And as you can see, front and center, there's a scan button. Now, let's say you're walking through Macy's and you came across a shirt. You didn't want to dress up like a referee for the day, so you scan its barcode. And just get this thing into focus. There we go. And if it's in our database, you'd be able to see exactly how other people in the community are styling that item. Just give it a second to pull up here. And what that does, it actually gives the user two reference points. One, they could see how other people of the same body type or different body types fit in that item, just so you can get a good sense of how it's going to fit on you. And you could also replicate the looks that you feel are most appropriate or best for you. Aside from that, I know a lot of people are thinking, well, most of the things that I have no longer have the barcodes on them, so how am I going to discover how to style that item? We have a tagging feature that allows users to search by an item's most descriptive qualities, right? So I'm gonna need a little audience participation, probably from some of the ladies here. I need you to just give me, shout out a brand that you like. Nike? Probably not the best choice.
How about Splendid?
Excuse me?
Splendid.
Splendid?
Or Vince. How about that?
Let's see.
RapGenius.
RapGenius. You said Splendid?
Splendid or Vince.
Theory, okay. Type in its brand. Now, category of clothing, shirt, skirt, pants. Shirt, thank you. Keep clicking the wrong thing. Sorry. The very boring part of my presentation. Shirt, and a color, please. White. And there are no matches in StyleScan, unfortunately for that but I'll pull something else up. Let's go with pink skirt. No results. Oh, fail. Let's go with something a little safer. Orange jeans. Are you connected? Because there's no way that 3 in a row can fail like that. Well, yeah, it's not connected on some level. Or, here we go. What did you just search? What did you just search? White skirts. Well, the majority of these will be white skirts. So essentially, the concept is that if you're searching for an item, you'll be able to search by brand category and color, their most descriptive qualities, and then you'll be able to see how other people within the community are styling items are styling that product exactly or similar products. So as you can see, there's tons of different girls wearing white skirts, different colors, different combinations, different fits. At least that way you could get a good sense of how it works. Now, aside from just scanning and searching, where we see like the strongest response is actually in the user connections and the user interactions. we first launched with a barcode scanner thinking, oh, this is going to be great. And as you guys all know, barcode scanning isn't like anything groundbreaking. But what we did was we added more social features that allowed people to connect and interact more. And that's when we really started to see things pick up with StyleScan. Now, at any given time, you could comment or ask a question or post a photo that addresses a certain fashion dilemma that you're having, and you could get instant feedback from other users. And we're starting to see a lot of that pick up as our user base grows. Just the other day, I saw one girl who was asking, where could she get fantastic concealer from that matches her skin tone at a drugstore price point. And within, I would say, about 15 minutes, she had 15 responses, all recommendations on how she could address her style dilemma or her fashion and beauty dilemma. And that's where I really see StyleScan being the strongest, is the relationships that are being established and people actually being able to get over their style hurdles. Now, the way that we are monetizing our site or our app is through our shopping portal, stylescan.co. Every item that's sold on StyleScan is scannable and shows people exactly how it should be worn to get them over that initial hurdle. Now, most people don't shop online for fashion products because they're concerned with fit and how they could style it. StyleScan allows them to get over that hurdle by showing you how it fits on different body types, different people, different ethnicities, different style senses. Aside from that, I think, I really would want you guys to think about the different type of people who would benefit from using this app. Think about yourself during the times that you've been getting ready for a date and struggle to figure out what's going to look good on you. Think about the awkward teenager who's trying to find themselves and fit in, the pregnant woman who's trying to find what's going to fit around her ever-growing bump. These are all people who could benefit from using StyleScan, and this is exactly who the app is designed for. As more people are on the community and are sharing and tagging their photos, you'd reap greater benefits from an application like this. And it's a little more focused than Instagram, because you're able to tune in directly to brands, colors, and categories to get a better sense of how it's meant to be styled. All right. Done.
All right. Awesome.
Is questions at this point? Or?
Thank you very much, Karl. Give him a round of applause. How you suffer through those those instances of tech not working is one of the biggest signs of a good entrepreneur. So, a bad demo can often lead to good things. Anyway, if you have questions for Karl, we're going to do Q&A after the next demo for the first two demos. So please write a little note to yourself if you have a dying question for Karl. Other than that, let's see, who's up next? Vengo is up next. Indeed, the Vengo team, you want to make your way over this way while I do your introduction. Vengo is based right here in Long Island City. In fact, in the same co-working space as Coalition for Queens, for now. And we're very excited to have them here today. They're working on some cool modifications to one of the most mundane pieces of technology in the world, the vending machine. And obviously they're about to tell you what this little monster is right here. So I'm going to hand it off to Brian Shimmerlik, CEO, and his acquaintance Shawn Sethi, software engineer.
Thank you very much. We're Vengo. We love snacks, and we love getting exactly what we want immediately, instant gratification. And so we built this guy from scratch. We did all the industrial design, all the front-end software, all the back-end software, and this is a third-generation Vengo, the high-tech vending machine. It's 5.7 inches deep and has a pretty strong capacity to fit 110 bags of Sour Patch Kids. The way we were able to do that is that Vengo was designed by our team of aerospace engineers. And so what we do is we go around to high-quality places in Manhattan, and we say, we'd like to take 2 square feet of unused wall space and turn it into a free high-tech amenity. And we create retail. We put the right product in the right place at the right time. We make it super easy for consumers. But that's really just step one for us. We're really not just about retail sales, but coupling interactive digital media with point of purchase, running creative experiential campaigns that kind of tie into what brands are already doing and bridge online and offline. So this is a campaign we're running for Uber, where you can just go up and touch the Uber tab, and then it says, do you have the Uber app? And you say no. So we enter our phone numbers, and immediately, can you guys hear me if I don't use the microphone? Yes. Yeah, there we go. So immediately, you'll get a text on your phone with the promo code VENGOFEB, PENGOFEB, and you'll get 20% off Uber all month. If you don't have the app, you guys will get a $20 credit. So we've been driving downloads of digital products through our 18-inch interactive screens. Now, when you touch the screen at the Vengo headquarters around the corner, we can track every single touch, the precise coordinates, the flow, and so we're taking an online level of digital analytics and we're bringing it into the physical world. We're coupling it with point of purchase and we're managing it remotely. So Shawn will walk you through kind of the consumer experience.
All right, so here you see all your products, and actually we have total control over what is displayed here, even if we don't have physical access to the machine here. So we could let's say we go in and it's supposed to have Trident here and Sour Patch here, so we don't want to screw that up. So we can go into the database and change that on the fly, and then it'll update here as well. So let's see here. Let's buy something. Add to cart. Check out.
Yep. So we designed it to be more of a e-commerce type user experience, as opposed to kind of what you normally see from a kiosk. So we don't accept cash. It's credit only. Obviously, we're working on a mobile integration. You just add it to your cart, and then it drops right out. And so the experience would be a lot like this. Just Sour Patch Kids flying at you all the time. Make it rain! And so, we've done this. We built these all ourselves in-house. We've got 50 deployed across Manhattan. A year ago, we had 1. So, we'd love for you guys, when you run into a Vengo in the wild, try it out, let us know what you think, and thank you very much for your time.
All right, stay up here, guys. Stay up here because we're going to do questions now. Brian, come back. Question time. Karl as well. Questions for Karl and Brian. Right here in the red.
I have a question for Vengo. So you mentioned you track the clicks, every click. Have you made any UI changes based on the flow of clicks that maybe you didn't or did expect?
So the question is, have you made any UI changes based on the flow of clicks that you did not expect?
Yeah, so we've learned a bunch of things. One is that, people sort of will sometimes go like this and expect it to add it to the cart. And so we're working on kind of having it open up another menu that kind of gives you a video demo of the product and really takes that engagement and uses it as an opportunity to sell the product and close the deal. We saw that people were touching this green part. I don't know if people could see it back there, but we have a tab here that was intended to open up the Uber campaign. We saw that people were actually touching the green part, and so we just made the green part work too. And so you could see when I touched it there. Another kind of learning piece was we saw that when people actually followed through with the phone number entering their phone number for Uber and earning themselves a discount, we saw a really high level of people following through on the purchase. So our hypothesis is that when people kind of feel that they've done something to earn a discount, even if that discount is 25 cents, they'll follow through on it.
Awesome. Okay. Any questions for StyleScan? StyleScan question right here for StyleScan?
Way too many questions, but probably the most important is that do you crowdsource the tagging part or the photos? Do people submit their photos, or do you build your database? Do you work off of?
The question is, do you crowdsource? Yeah, where does your data come from?
The majority of the data now comes from our users. It's all user generated. So users can upload photos, tag them if they wish, and just submit them to the StyleScan world. Where we're trying to go with it is getting retailers to upload their entire catalog or their entire lookbook in one shot. And that would at least allow us to start having users actually get more feedback as they shop. So that's the idea. But right now it's mostly user generated.
Okay, great. Any more questions? Right here in the...
For Vengo, what's the most common type of space out of the 50 that you currently have?
Yeah.
The
so
question is, sorry, this is for the video, really. The question is, what's the most common space? You mean where the machines are installed, right? What's the most common space? And where's the closest one, actually, where people can go to?
Yeah, so we're actually in a lot of different verticals. You know, we're still learning, but we also sort of take a marketing approach to focus, trying to focus on the consumer, be there and touch them 3 times throughout their day to provide a different product mix of things they'd want. We are in a lot of the startup co-working spaces. We're in a lot of schools, NYU, New York Law School. The closest one is LaGuardia College, where we work. And then we do nightlife as well, where there really isn't retail. And like the closest thing to what we're doing is what we call the 80s condom machine, where you're putting quarters in, you're cranking it, and there's not technology in sight.
Okay, great. One more question right here.
Yes, are you going to have a Vengo without the screen, just a mobile app completely? So it's like this red box that just magically pops stuff out?
Yeah.
Are you planning on making a Vengo that's just an app?
No, well, everything is right here. I don't need a screen, I don't even want to touch it, I don't even know people are seeing me buy that. I just,
Oh, you mean, okay,
just
so
walk by and it's
I think the question is, are you going to make a box without a screen that only interacts with just your phone?
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so I like where your head's at with the magic. We're all about that, but we certainly think that while we want you to be able to pay with your phone, we want you to be able to pay without taking your phone out of your pocket, but we'll always want to have a screen to kind of attract engagement, have interesting, creative, interactive content.
One more question for StyleScan? Any more questions for StyleScan? Right here, Boris?
Are you experiencing a problem that your product's barcode right now is a data matrix instead of like the 2D matrix? Because the barcode that you were scanning was the QR code, and the ones that are in the store are very simple stores. So are you able to have a technology that's able to scan the old barcodes instead of the new ones?
Okay, so the question is, what barcodes do you support?
Actually, we're using zebra crossing, which pretty much supports all barcodes. Zebra crossing, I'm not a tech guy. It's my developers know. Zebra crossing is a plugin that I guess another company created a barcode scanner, and it's something that you could just plug into your application. But QR codes are what I'm able to generate for our products that we're selling. But I think it supports all popular barcodes, 2D barcodes, and the only one that has a little difficulty are code 28, which is like a very antiquated system. But for the most part, it's not much of an issue. It actually runs a lot better on Android than it does on iPhone.
Okay, thank you very much, Karl and Brian. Give them a round of applause. All right. Okay, so up next, we're going to be introducing a new feature to Queen Tech Meetup, what we're going to be calling the Hack of the Month. It's not necessarily a business, so to speak, so much as it's a very cool project, basically coded entirely by one person. In this case, we're going to talk about TribeReminder. Wow, that feedback really is bad. A little further away. There we go. All right, thank you, Jolly. Okay, so TribeReminder is a product of this gentleman right here, Wesley Ross, who will, wait, stay right there, Wesley, stay there 1 second. I first met Wesley last summer at Dream It Ventures. He was working for a company in the Dream It Accelerator program called Hey Kiki. He was a great guy then, he's a great guy now. He really exemplifies, forgive me for plugging Coalition for Queens here again here, but he exemplifies exactly the mission that Coalition for Queens is dedicated to. Wesley's a Polish immigrant, and he lives in Ridgewood, and he's used tech to empower himself professionally, personally, and he's about to show you just exactly what he's done. So let's all give Wesley a round of applause.
So first of all, I want to thank Queens Tech Meetup for inviting me here today, allowing me to present TribeReminder. As Aaron mentioned, I was a lead developer for one of the companies in the last Dream and Bash during the summer. And the problem after the batch that me and a lot of people in the batch discovered was that as soon as you leave Accelerator program, you kind of lose connection with a lot of those people that you were physically in the building with. And those people, anybody from investors to co-founders or other companies, are important people in your network that you should build upon relationships. So the idea behind TribeReminder is to stay in touch with people a little bit better than you'd be able to do by your own. So quick story. I want to tell a quick story about how I went from concept to paid customers without having an actual product ready yet. Sorry. So this is the initial landing page for TribeReminder a couple of weeks ago. I put it up just to see what the feedback would be from people visiting the page. When you click Get Started, you would log in with LinkedIn. I would get a notification that you're interested, and then I would follow up that person sending a PayPal link saying, hey, pay me for 6 months of this product if you're really interested. Funny story is, I got about 30 paid customers before I even launched the product. So, Aaron, if you click on the second tab, this is TribeReminder now, the beta program. So, what TribeReminder does is basically takes your contacts from LinkedIn, Facebook, organizes them for you, pulls all the tags and interests for all the people in your network. So when you follow up with them, you know exactly what to talk about. So Aaron, if you click sign in with LinkedIn, this should authenticate us and log us into the dashboard. Slow Wi-Fi, not his fault. Absolutely not my fault. So, oh, there we go. So this is a little bit too fast, but actually it's weird. In the dashboard, you should actually see about 400 different contacts where you can set reminders for all these people. Yeah. Maybe a different version got cached on my browser when the computer went down. But anyway, you can set reminders from 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and after those couple of months, you would get a reminder for that person with information you could follow up with. Okay, if this doesn't work, then Aaron, go to the third tab. The third tab is going to show you upcoming reminders for the people you marked that are important to you. So on May 25th, I'm supposed to follow up with Aaron. One of the skills that and interests that Aaron has on LinkedIn was CSS. So what TribeReminder does is pulls up relevant articles for CSS for that week or month. And when you click on the email button, it's going to shoot yeah, I guess you can click the email button. Let's see what's going to happen. Okay. Well, maybe we'll see. It's supposed to pull up a template with a pre-populated message about that article to that person. So this way, it takes a pain point away about writing the whole email to that person.
There's no address in that mail too. There's no.
No, the address you're supposed to fill out, since LinkedIn doesn't allow first connections to pull the email addresses for those connections. Anyway, since the demo is kind of not working all the way as I hoped, Aaron, if you go to the fourth tab, this is how TribeReminder, well, yeah, that's terrible. This is how TribeReminder is going to look in about a week when I implement the new UI for it. Yeah, just click Command minus, I think, since this is an image. There you go, a little bit better. Anyway, if you want to check out the product, and this wasn't the best demo for it, sorry about that, but you can email me at hello@wesleyross.com, and Aaron, if you go to the last tab, I don't know if it applies in the situation, you can use a coupon code QTM for Queens Tech Meetup and receive 30% off of the Pro plan. Thank you. It's TribeReminder.
Thank you very much, Wesley. And again, how you suffer through those bad tech demos are truly a sign of your character as an entrepreneur. So we all appreciate you getting through that with us. All right. Any questions for Wesley? Actually, we got time for a question or two about TribeReminder. Any questions at all? Anyone planning on using that coupon code later, maybe? No? Okay. All right. Well, let's just keep things moving then. Up next, I think we have a company that requires very little introduction. They even have cool hats. We're going to now get a demo from an incredibly cool company, unfortunately based in Brooklyn, but we won't hold that against them. And heck, let's just go for it. This is Andrew Warner from RapGenius.
What up? That was loud. I guess I will wait for the iPhone to get plugged in. Let's see. All right, so I am Andrew Warner. I am the Director of Engineering at RapGenius.com, based in Brooklyn and Williamsburg. Good morning. On this day, we become legendary. I'm like the fly Malcolm X, by any means necessary. Does anyone know what this line means? Anyone? Nobody? Well, in 2007, 2008, if you didn't know what this line meant, you're probably sort of sitting around your dorm room, your bedroom, maybe a coffee shop trying to figure out what it means. If you're lucky, maybe your friend is nearby, they're a huge rap fan, they're maybe a big Kanye fan. If you're unlucky, that friend doesn't exist, or they're not nearby, and so you are screwed. And so, in the lovely 2014, we have this great thing called Google, and you just punch in the line, and the first result every single time is rapgenius.com. So I'll let James type it in here, see what happens. So there we go. We got the first result here. We click on that. We get to a nice page here on the mobile web with the line that you were curious about and the explanation of exactly what it means in context. So this is a line on the Kanye song, Good Morning. And actually it turns out that by any genes necessary is a reference to the Malcolm X slogan, by any means necessary. So Kanye's doing a little play on words there. So, from 2009, starting in 2009, the site was just, a single page with one song and two explanations. And now in 2014, thanks to the fact that lyric searches are about 2% of total web searches, RapGenius now has about 30 million monthly uniques, which is pretty good. Half of those are on mobile, and a ton of those users are on iOS, probably 80%. So, we had to do the iOS app, so we got this little open an app button here. So if we click that, we see that it takes us to this nice native view of the exact same thing we saw on mobile web. And we've got the same thing. We've got the line, we've got the explanation, we've got the context and the song. And what's this? So it looks like we have a list of people. So who are these people? So I guess you might think like there's this Wizard of Oz thing going on where you're not really sure who's making these explanations. Maybe a crazy team of editors, but actually it's just all crowdsourced information. So you can see this guy Ed Money is responsible for 49% of the explanation. Mabu, who might look familiar, is responsible for 12%. We've got Shaolin Land, responsible for 10%. Lemon, responsible for 9%. So there's a whole list of people who actually explain this line. So that's pretty cool. So what's the sort of like beginning view of getting into the app? So let's go to the home screen here. So you can see when you first open the app, you've got the opportunity to search. You can search by lyric, by artist, or by title. And we've also got sort of preloaded a list of songs from your iTunes library, which is pretty neat. So you can see here James has got a Nas song first, then he's got a little Phil Collins, little Natasha Bedingfield. That's a great song if anyone hasn't heard it, Unwritten. And then below that, we've got 4 nice sections of what's hot on the site right now. So this is sort of like the what's cool, like what's kind of trending, popping off on the site in rap, rock, poetry, and news. So all this stuff is fully explained. You can kind of do a deep dive, stay in this nice native feel into some different songs. So I guess let's peek into this Nas song here and actually start looking through. So like I was saying before, this stuff is all crowdsourced. Any like yellow lines mean that the line is explained by the community, and white lines means that the line needs explanation or hasn't been explained yet. And there's also these kind of green lines here. So what are these? Let's click into one of these. All right, so this is actually a line explained by Nas himself. And so this is very interesting because even your craziest friend who is obsessed with Nas has even sort of reached out and touched Nas at a concert or something. That's how much they like him. Would never know what this line means because this is actually, this line comes from a story that Nas saw on TV while he was recording a song, and actually like stuck with him because he saw his friend's mom on TV or something. So that's something you would never know unless you were best friends with Nas or you happen to be in the studio and saw him watching this. So that I think is pretty compelling. So we got maybe like some music situation here. Oh no. There we go. All right, so we got a song you guys might recognize. Might not be able to hear it. Pretty good song. Anybody know this song? It's not rap, but it's pretty good. Can we use the app to actually figure this out? Let's see. Is this gonna work? Oh my God, okay, there we go. Come on, Tom likes this. So this is actually the app figuring out what song we are listening to and bringing us right to that song so that we can get the explanation. So I actually was pretty curious about what this smell of colitas rising up through the air line means. So actually, like any cryptic reference in a 70s song, he's talking about drugs. Drugs, Like in this case, colitas are the sort of clippings from the end of a nugget, I guess a weed nugget, the very tip. So that's pretty compelling, I think. But really, rap and rock, this is all just kind of text. So we've got this explanation thing. Why not put this to use for other types of content? So one thing that happened recently, which was really exciting, is a very prominent blogger, prominent econ blogger, Felix Salmon, posted a great article on our site about the sort of Bitcoin rise of popularity in Bitcoin, and a prominent VC, Ben Horowitz, actually sort of disagreed and wanted to comment on some of his points, and so he created a verified annotation on the song and sort of responded to Felix Salmon's points, and Felix Salmon then jumped in and clapped back at him. So this is pretty exciting. You can actually see their conversation right on RapGenius. These are two people that you really want to hear comment about Bitcoin, and it's right on the site with the context right there, which is extremely exciting. But I think I want to get into a little bit about how we actually sort of build this thing. So far I've shown you some sort of text, which is interesting, but so it seems like this is a pretty easy thing to build, but actually RapGenius has a lot of sort of rich media. So we're going to go to this song, Heroku's Ugly Secret. This is actually an article, the most famous RapGenius engineering article about performance problems on Heroku's platform. So we actually kind of found out that Heroku was telling people that everything was fine on apps that were actually running very slowly in a lot of cases, including ours. And so this page has a lot of sort of rich media on it that we have to be able to support when building the app. So we've got sort of images, inline, animated GIFs, we've got YouTube embeds, we've got headers, we've got block quotes, we've got lists, we've got tables. This is a great GIF here. And so, in order to kind of build this, it was not easy. We had to sort of give you sort of what a browser does, but with a native feel. So the sort of naive implementation would have been, okay, just shove a web view in there, and it'll probably work fine, which would have been true, but it would have been very similar to what we have on mobile web, and so not that exciting. So we had to build this sort of custom transport protocol and custom rendering layout engine, which is extremely smooth, and you can scroll quickly even past kind of crazy animated GIFs that one of our engineers made on this page. So this is pretty exciting. So how did we actually go about building this? So we built this app very quickly in about 2 months. And so what did that involve? So one big philosophy at RapGenius in terms of engineering is this idea of worse is better. So Tom has a great talk about this that if you just Google RapGenius worse is better, you can check out. But I'll give a brief summary of it, which is basically we want to release the worst minimum possible thing early and often and fix it, figure out what customers like, what they don't like, and iterate on it quickly. On the web, that works really well because we can release 20 to 30 times even in one day and sort of kill features that we don't like or fix them in real time. On iOS, it's a little bit more risky because it might take Apple 5 to 7 days to even improve an app, and you could have lost, especially if it's your initial release. If people don't like it, they're never coming back. They're going to rate it 2 stars. They're going to give you terrible reviews, and you're kind of hosed. So how did we do this? In the iOS world, we actually sort of decided to have feature scarcity, but polish the features that we did make. So this app is a baby. It's 1% of what we have on the web, which you can check out, but the features that we did decide to build are really polished. So as I said, we've got smooth scrolling. You can check out any text on the site. You can check out the annotations. You can see who annotated it. You can sign in. You can vote. You can do all these things. I showed you the recognition technology and the library integration. And I guess actually, James, what do people think of this app? Oh my God, is that real? 2,400 5-star ratings? Is this right? Can someone confirm this? So this is pretty good, right? There's actually one in here that says, I want to change my sexuality to app-sexual and marry this app. Not something I made up, and it wasn't me. It might have been Tom. So this is pretty great. We also got 500,000 downloads in the first month, which is pretty exciting. RapGenius, even at 1% of the features we actually want to build, is already your pocket guide to all of human culture. So delete every other app on your phone. You don't need it unless it's some kind of alien culture app. RapGenius. Give it up.
All right, thank you very much, Andrew and the RapGenius team. Greatly appreciate that wonderful performance. If you have questions for RapGenius, please save them till after the next demo. We'll be taking questions for both the last 2 teams then. And up next, we have over here, patiently waiting. We arrived so early to demo last. We have the team from Confide. If anyone here was at New York Tech Meetup earlier this month, you probably saw one of the coolest, most expensive demos that was ever performed at that hallowed venue. This is now your last opportunity, by the way, to download and install the Confide app to qualify for those amazing prizes they're about to give away. So without further ado, I'd like to present John and Dan, former co-founder of AOL Ventures. Dan was VP of Product at Yext, and now they're here to tell you, kind of how to talk shit about people behind their back without ever getting in trouble for it. So here you go, ladies and gentlemen, Confide.
I spent the last 5 years trying to follow Ariana Huffington, and now I get to follow RapGenius. It's like out of the frying pan and into the something. Here we go.
How you doing? My name is Dan Sutera, and I will be playing the role tonight of what you would write.
Hello, my name is John Broad, and I'll be playing the role of what you say.
Dear Joe, our experience with that investor is that they are very thorough and appreciate frequent status updates. Sincerely, Dan.
Dude, those investors are a bunch of clowns. You can't go with them. They've got product feedback all the time. It's horrible. Weekly updates. Do not take money from them. No way.
You can imagine I'm typing here. Dear Steve, the numbers, I'll call you in a minute with them. Sincerely, Dan.
Revenues were $33.4 million. It was 20% year-over-year increase, and the pre-money valuation on the deal was $100 million, but you didn't hear it from me.
Dear Beth, I am delighted to have this opportunity to tell you about our experience in working with Jennifer. We found Jennifer to be a solid employee. She was really nice and incredibly strategic, but may not be a great self-starter. Sincerely, Dan.
Oh no, 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 no. Jennifer is a fucking disaster. Do not hire Jennifer under any circumstances.
So as you can see, in each of these situations and more, SMS and email both fail.
Which is why we invented Confide. Confide is an off-the-record mobile messenger for professionals. We combine end-to-end encryption with screenshot protection and disappearing messages to promote genuine, honest, unfiltered communication among professionals. So we're going to try a demo here. It's a little bit nerve-wracking after the first 5. All right, here we go. You fire up the app, you get a message. The message, you now wand over the message to actually reveal it. Why do we do this? It prevents screenshots. It's also kind of really fun. It's like a secret decoder ring. Once you read the message once, you either, if it were in a demo message, it would also have reply in the upper right corner. You hit close or reply. Once you do that, the message self-destructs. It's gone. No record, no forwarding, no nothing. That's Confide. Give it up for Confide. It's that simple. It's that simple. But wait, there's more. What's this? $100 bill. Okay, this is our highly unscalable go-to-market strategy. We just raised $1.9 million. We can do this 1,900 times across the country, and we plan to. All right, here we go. Fire up the app. Everybody who's got the app. We're going to do a trivia question. The first person to get the question correct and to message it within the Confide app, to send it in the Confide app, send the answer to dan@getconfide.com. Dan@getconfide.com will win this $100 bill. Are you ready? Does that make sense? You have to have the right answer, and you have to be first. It's that simple. Okay. Here's the question. There was a large acquisition last week. I don't know if you heard about it. Facebook bought WhatsApp. Hang on. Including the retention bonus, what was the total dollar amount of that deal? The total dollar amount with retention bonus of the WhatsApp. Don't do anything yet. Don't do anything yet. Okay. It's the same exact amount that Confide has raised with 4 more decimal points. Okay? And we don't feel bad about that at all. We feel awesome about that. Okay, here we go. So we got a whole bunch of answers. Is it the right answer? Wrong. That's horrible. What was the dollar amount? Okay, let's go. Let's keep going. Who's next? Okay, that wasn't the right answer. 19 billion. That's the right answer. Where's our winner? Get up here. Get up here. $100. Round of applause. Here you go, sir. Let's take a picture of this. Congratulations. Big hug. Let's see.
I love Confide.
Say that again.
I love Confide.
And thank you for wearing Confide orange. Thank you, sir. Congratulations. I think that's it, right? Thank you very much. We're out.
All right, awesome. Let's get Andrew back up here as well. We're going to do last question and answer session for our final demos. Where do you guys want to stand? Okay, sandwich. I got a startup sandwich right here. I'm the fill-in. All right, questions for RapGenius or Confide? Way back in the back against the wall.
For RapGenius, when you're working with a song, you're trying to get to like a single answer on what the latest device is. Whereas with the article, you're trying to get debate on that blog post between the 2 authors. How do you sort of work with those 2 models at the same space?
How do you work with the 2 models of a song? Oh, wrong side. With a song versus, I guess, other content. How do you square those different approaches?
Should I get away from this thing? That's fine. Yeah, so I think there's kind of like 2 things going on here, right? So the example I showed with the blog post is kind of 2 verified users having a little bit of a debate. So a verified user has a special sort of like behavior on the site where their name appears next to their annotation and their avatar, and they get special space, whereas the community annotation, which is collaboratively created, is more of sort of the wall of history, right? So people can leave suggestions, and that can get integrated into the explanation, but there's no one person responsible for it. And that's much more obvious to think about in the context of a song that needs a line explained. But for a blog post, you can still imagine someone providing context. So someone maybe makes reference to, for example, the WhatsApp deal, and you might want to have context around that with the actual valuation of WhatsApp and who the founders are, and what the sort of breakup was in terms of the who got what in stock or whatever, and how much of it was cash in stock. So I think that sort of distinguishes between the debate that I showed and the sort of community annotation. Does that answer your question?
Okay, great. All right, next question. RapGenius or Confide? Darren, over here in the back.
What's the RapGenius DLDL on the Black Hat story?
What's the RapGenius DLDL on the Black Hat story? Is that what you said? Black? Okay, Black Hat.
So I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to. Some kind of, when we searched on Google, we did come up. So yeah, that's kind of, no, I mean, I think we sort of, we obviously were doing something wrong in that case. We made amends for it. We worked our butts off trying to get all of the content that was bad off of the internet. We scraped, I don't know if you guys saw our article explaining exactly what we did to get back onto Google, but it's pretty thorough in explaining exactly, we scraped basically every single inbound link to RapGenius, made sure it was legit. There's a great in-depth technical discussion of that, which I'm pretty proud of, and also sort of a non-technical discussion, which you can check out. Is that, I guess that's, you were probably hoping for something a little more sort of like secret, but you guys can confide that with each other. Yeah, I guess, yeah, hit me up on Confide.
Indeed. All right, how about a question for Confide? Anybody? Question for Confide right here again in the blue.
Who are you guys seeing use Confide the most?
Who is using Confide the most, or can you even tell?
Yeah, no, it's actually hard to tell, but anecdotally, it is the entertainment world. It started. By the way, we're 7 weeks old tomorrow, so we're getting there. And thank you for allowing us to do this at week 7, which is awesome. Entertainment community, tech community, all the way up and down the stack, from VCs to operators, and media and journalists. Right? They invented the notion of off the record. We're bringing off the record online in an asynchronous fashion. They find that very interesting. So.
Very cool. Any more questions for anyone? Right here. Scott, right? Scott? I remembered your name. Awesome. For Rap, yeah.
So you guys got featured in the App Store. Is there anything specific you did to get in that spot?
What was your secret for getting featured in the App Store?
Yeah, so the secret was having a ton of downloads, a ton of press, a lot of extremely good reviews, and I think Apple hit us up basically the day of the release because it was just blowing up. At one point, I think we were 4th on the free music, so that probably got their attention. And yeah, I mean, no secret, basically Apple came to us, but.
Short answer, be RapGenius. Anyway, I actually have a question for you guys. What was the, forgive me for interjecting here, MC's prerogative. What is the biggest difference you see in engagement versus the mobile web and the app? I'll leave it at that. What's the biggest difference between the two?
Mobile web versus the app? Yeah, exactly. Before you have people trapped in the browser, what are you seeing them do differently? How are you treating them differently?
Yeah, so one thing that I think is exciting is that the app has driven a lot more signups than we're used to on the mobile web. So what we've seen a lot with the mobile web is people kind of, we have a ton of people who end up signing up as contributors, but a lot of people also sort of find the lyric that they want to see, read the explanation, maybe click around a little bit and then leave. But the mobile app has actually driven a ton of signups. Like I think we had like 10x or 20x the number of signups on the first day that we usually get on the web once we release the app, and we've just got a ton more engagement from the users that are on the app. So they're voting, they're pyonging, which is like kind of our version of like a super share on the site, and those are the only 2 actions you can do right now. But once we have a ton more stuff they can do, I think we'll also see a lot more contribution to the actual annotation. So it's pretty exciting.
Awesome. Great answer. All right, any more questions? Right here in the hat.
Yeah, for RapGenius, for the section. For the sections in green, do you go out to the MCs and ask them like what the explanation is to the lyric, or is it like out of frustration, like seeing like nonsense that's written that they're like, no, this is actually where it came from?
So I guess to put this in Wikipedia terms, do you ever search for original research? I guess that would be the the artist's interpretation of their lyric. Is that what you're asking? I guess.
Do the artists actually contact you and say, this is what the lyric actually meant? Or do you reach out to them, or how does that work?
So I think the question is just, do we go after the artists, or do the artists come to us? So I think it's a mix. So when we first built the verified artist product, we had to go out and go after artists a lot, and that still happens with the biggest names. But we're finding that as the product grows and gains popularity, we're seeing that a lot more artists are coming to us, which is really exciting. The hope with the mobile app, which is one of the most exciting things for me, is that artists can do this from their phone, which right now is one of the biggest barriers. So like a lot of people don't even have laptops anymore. They're just Instagram, Twitter, Flappy Bird, if you can actually take like a Vine-like video as an explanation from your phone and then immediately upload it to RapGenius, I think that's a huge sell for artists and pretty exciting for the community too.
How about a question for Confide? Jolly, question for Confide?
I know we're not allowed to ask about revenue models, but can I ask, is that it, or how do you intend to develop it?
Yeah. Question, is that it?
That's it. No. Look, I mean, again, it's week 7. I mean, the vision here is really changing the face of professional communication. We start with the iOS app. We quickly, Jeff and Rich, quick, get to Android. We think about email. We think about browsers. We think about websites. So cross-platform, cross-device. For the monetization question, it's not something we're focused on in the near term. And luckily, we just raised a bunch of money, which doesn't force us to do inorganic early things. But we do think ultimately a premium model a la LinkedIn is kind of an interest for our power users is an interesting approach. And because we're targeting professionals, who are more affluent than a lot of the teenagers that are using mobile apps, we think that it should monetize pretty well, ultimately, over time. But not now.
What about stickers? I hear WhatsApp added a lot of value with stickers. Yeah, okay, that's not a serious question. More question, another one for Confide, maybe? Confide? Over here, Confide.
Yeah, you. Just curious on how you guys were able to kind of show the text very stealthy, but what about attachments and stuff like that?
Attachments?
What about attachments?
Yeah. So we don't support media currently, which is fun because I always get asked if we're a sexting app, and I say we're the world's worst sexting app without photos, only for the highly imaginative. But seriously, we things like attachments for professionals, right? Think about documents and PowerPoints and Excel spreadsheets. We are very intrigued by. I'm not going to tip our hand to the product roadmap yet in week 7, but suffice it to say that's interesting to us.
Any more questions right here?
Yeah, for Confide as well. So does the app record your most frequent contacts, or I've contacted you and we've exchanged 5 or 50 messages, or does it also not do that?
Does the app record, I guess, how many conversations you've had with people?
Yeah, it doesn't really record it. We do, if you go to the address book, there's an algorithm that sort of shows above the A in address book, your most sort of frequently used, but we do interject some kind of new people onto the platform into that. So in that sense, we do have some sense of who you've been using the app with most, but it's all incredibly secure and secret.
Yeah. Also, you can clear your history basically on your device.
Looks like we have time for more questions. Any more questions? In the red, the winner, the big winner.
Sorry, RapGenius. Oh, just questions.
We're taking the $100.
How are you guys handling the copyright laws in regards to lyrics, because all lyrics are copyrighted, is my understanding?
So the question is, how do you deal with copyright, and will your answer include the words fair use?
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of cases, we are considering fair use to be a legitimate answer to that, but we are also working on various deals with to make sure that we have the right licenses for the text on the site. So, I guess wait and see.
So it hasn't been an issue. You haven't had people coming to you and.
Yeah, I mean, there have been some. I think there was a big article recently about the NMPA sort of clapping at us. So it hasn't been a non-issue, but it hasn't been a huge issue.
Can I follow up to that? What about people who post on the site? What about their copyright terms of use?
What about the copyright terms of use of commenters' contributions? Does that maybe qualify as a transformative work?
So you're saying the people who are actually explaining the lyrics and text. Yeah, I mean, I think that under our terms of service, I would say that is at least has to be able to be displayed by us. They can't claim ownership over that. So.
All right, we got time for one more question. Way in the back there with the bike helmet.
For Confide, what's the policy for like introverts? For instance, two financial guys do start trading over the app, and you get subpoenaed. How do you guys handle that?
So if Bernie Madoff conducts a Ponzi scheme through Confide and you get subpoenaed, then what?
All right, so there's sort of two parts to the question here. First, if you intend to use the platform for illicit use, get the hell off of it. We don't want you. It's not why we built it. It's against our terms of use. Having said that, it is a platform and utility. No, look, just like IM, email, chat, and even your phone, right? And as such, we have to be cognizant that bad people will, potentially try to use it for bad things. So that's sort of one part of the question. The second part on the subpoena is really interesting. I mean, the way end-to-end encryption or asymmetric encryption works, without getting too geeky because I can't, is basically once you hit send, the message is completely encrypted. It crosses our servers encrypted, so we couldn't even look at it if we wanted to, and then it looks for a unique key in the recipient's phone, which decrypts it. So if we were subpoenaed, one of two things would happen. And once you hit close or reply, it gets wiped clean from the phone and deleted from our servers. So if we were subpoenaed on things that were read, we don't have them anymore. And if we're subpoenaed on things that haven't been read yet, we can't, and neither can the subpoena-e decrypt them. So it's kind of wacky, but that's the situation.
Okay, I think maybe we have time for one more question if we have anyone with a burning desire. No? Okay, last one.
When is the RapGenius game coming out?
When does the RapGenius game come out?
It's like battling, knowing what lyrics, I see it like going so many different.
Dirty Dozens, brought to you by RapGenius. Anything?
As soon as possible. We have to do that. Tom?
Tom's down, ladies and gentlemen. All right, that about does it for this Queen's Tech Meetup. Thank you very much. A quick note for everybody here. I know there are a lot of first-timers here. I want to thank you again for coming out. If you're interested in volunteering with Queen's Tech Meetup, please come to me, see me an email. Full disclosure, the first time I volunteered, I set up chairs. The next meetup, I was standing here talking to all you people. So anything is possible. Thank you very much. If you want to do us a favor, take your chair, stack it up against the wall on your way out. Make sure your beer cans are in the trash. Thank you. Get home safe. You're welcome to hang out for another 20 minutes or so, and then they kick us out of here. Good night, everybody.